Hello. This is something entirely new to me, and it must be entirely something new for all the people that are watching me because you probably have never seen me in your entire life. Hello, I am Jay, and I am a popular music student here at the University of Gloucestershire, where I am sitting more than standing, here today. What do I have in my hands, you may ask? These are questions that I've got from my friends, family, students, and sometimes even teachers if I actually got a hold of them. So this whole entire podcast is me introducing myself to you. I am selling myself to you guys because I think, why the hell not? It's fun. So let's get it started. First question. Have you ever had an experience where a song changed a part of your life? Well, I have, and you can judge me freely on this. I'm a huge fan of K-pop. I'm not going to, lie about that. There's a member of a group, BTS, and one of the members released a song called First Love, presumably about a brown piano. And I grew up with a brown piano in my dad's office. Coincidence? I think not. So I got into music that way, and I listened to this song around about in my sort of early teens. I'm now 20. So I listened to this song and was like, damn, this piano sounds sexy. I want to learn it. So I picked up lessons, and that song changed my perspective of music and the instrument to this day. Next question. What was my first experience with music? My mum has always said that I was a musical baby. There was pictures of me in my little sort of sitting sort of push chair with a toy piano, and I'll just be bouncing around in the doorway playing this, kid-like piano. And there's countless of pictures that my mum owns of me playing the piano. And I guess my family just knew that I was just, born gifted of the talent of music, which a lot of my family don't really have. They listen to music, but they don't have that skill to play a musical instrument. I think that was my first ever, this plays a note type of experience. So what's your opinion on the Ed Sheeran situation? If you're not familiar with the Ed Sheeran situation, basically, Ed Sheeran has been to court at least once or twice now about plagiarism on certain tracks that he has, released. And I think my opinion, and this is not based on facts, all of this is just based on my opinion. I am not a know-it-all. I am not Einstein. Do not quote me on this, and please do not hate me for this. No hate at all. I think, personally, there's so many things that you can do in music, and things are going to sound the same from decades-old songs to songs that are going to be used now. And I think with this situation, I think it just so... It's a difficult thing to process as a musician because it's such a scary situation to think, I'm going to be sued a shit ton of money, excuse my language, for something that, doesn't even sound vaguely similar. But even just a slight difference in beat can make, total fandoms or families of artists want to sue other artists for it. But I think Ed did a great job. Props to him. It was a scary situation. And I think even if this happens again, I think it's a reoccurring issue because there's so many old songs that keep reappearing and getting sampled and used that it's unavoidable at this age. Right, moving swiftly on from the serious question, how would you prepare for a performance? Yes, I've been performing since the age of 3. Yes, because I'd been a musical theatre kid before I decided that musical theatre was not my route. And I would drink a lot of water from my experience. I would just drink a lot of water because it's good for the vocals, it's good for just getting into the mood and the scene. So I think that's just a very simple answer. If you're a vocalist, drink water. It will save your life. Do you have any advice for those who struggle to put themselves out there? Honestly, and I'm going to be honest with you, this is my first time putting myself out here. This is the first proper video that I'm ever doing of myself. But just do it. I'm just doing it right now, and I'm probably going to make a fool of myself by doing this, but is it going to be fun? Absolutely. Are you going to feel like you've accomplished something? Absolutely. And I know it's going to struggle, and the preparations for certain things, if you're recording or if you're performing or even doing something similar to this, it will be incredible. The feeling will be incredible, and your journey would just keep on growing from there, and the experience will get easier over time. I will assure you on that. Best song written, either original work or other artists' work. That is a tough question. Well, I think the best song that I have written is actually the first song that I wrote while at uni. The first song that I wrote in my first year for an assessment, which is called Farewell Message, is up on my SoundCloud, which I'll talk about later. And I worked with one of the students that was in my class. Fantastic guitarist. Absolutely, we cracked it. It was brilliant. We had a great time performing it. I absolutely loved it. The lyrics speak personally to me from my experience, but it was also a lot more like general to the public who are experiencing heartbreak, turmoil in their parts of life. And for the first time, I'm actually pleased of an original song of mine. Normally, I would just write the lyrics down in my book and then discard them and just keep them as like WAV files and never visit them again. But holy crap, it was so good that I keep on revisiting it and putting it up on SoundCloud. How do musicians promote themselves? Self-promo, publish? I think to promote themselves or to promote an album, I think social media is your best friend. TikTok, Instagram, even talking about it to your family. Maybe even your grandma might be interested. Who knows? There's so many people out there that could potentially be people that might be spreading your word around, even handing out flyers. There's so many ways to publicize your work or yourself as an artist. Even way, there's so many ways. That's a really good question. I really like that one. How difficult is it to be recognized and book gigs? Well, I was in a band way before I came to the uni, and most of the time I didn't really understand how difficult it was to book gigs. But really, you can put yourself forward to a load of venues. Like the band that I was in was going to perform, and this was before COVID struck. We were going to do a retirement home, which is a brilliant place to play drums at the time. It's brilliant. But even in small places like that, busking, going into pubs, even like just those little places in like supermarkets, if you can book those areas out, the smaller the better, really, in building your repertoire and performing in public spaces. And from then you can also get recognized by the public, create more of a bigger fan base, and then you can just project on from there, which is honestly, smaller is better. Woo! What is a song that I listen to in order I said in order twice on here. I assure you, I am very good at my English, just not today. What is a song that I listen to in order to get inspiration? Well, truthfully, I don't really listen to a lot of songs. I listen to a whole bunch of albums of all types of genres. It can be classical music, K-pop, even like film scoring, like music, if that's even a word, and truly a bunch of stuff: rock, hip hop, rap. It's an endless list that can possibly give me ideas to, work on, because I'm not really, as an artist, very strict on genre. One day I might work on a heavy metal type of track, because I wrote and produced a whole EP in it's rock, and it's an EP, and it's on SoundCloud. Some of the songs are, but it was all in rock, and it was very different to the songs that I put out now, because there's a lot of, I'm just experimenting. Experimenting is so much fun than just restricting yourself to one genre that is either popular and or just thriving. Do your own thing. Why is modern pop songs all sounding the same? I kind of covered this a little bit earlier, but I think the reason why they are sounding the same is that there were a lot of limitations on the sounds that we make now. Old songs are being, brought back, even being used, like, for example, that one Doja Cat song, Paint the Town Red. All these songs are being recycled almost to make new tracks. It's very popular. You see them almost everywhere in most tracks nowadays. That's why people are kind of listening to the old songs and thinking, oh, this is where it came from. And because they're sort of rising and falling levels of popularity of all these songs, producers are using the old songs from past years and almost remixing them and making them into completely new tracks. That is why a lot of them are sounding the same. Does music have a power to change my mood? How does it affect me? A lot of times, emotionally, if I'm feeling incredibly sad, down, depressed, I will listen to a lot of sad, depressing songs, because it fits my mood and it just goes with the vibe. If I'm in the mood for being, like a skipping down the street type vibe, then really, I would listen to quite hyperactive. It just suits the vibe and the emotion, it supports it. I wouldn't normally listen to a song that was opposite what I'm feeling, and because of that power of, like, almost relating to it and having that sort of booster, that's how it affects me. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. Do you buy CDs or records, or do I just stream? Going back to my point, I love K-pop, so I collect a lot of those albums. I'm getting more for Christmas, by the way, so when this is released, I'll get some more. But really, I don't normally get records. I know a lot about them, and my family has had a past with them. I think they have some in their attic, which is really, I would love to explore one day. And maybe even get a record player to give to the family as well. But at the minute, I do have quite a few CDs, got a few Robbie Williams ones from the past, or just past CDs that we haven't really gotten rid of. But really, they are, because they're old and because I've grew up owning them from my family, that's what makes them so precious. But me and K-pop, that's precious in a different meaning. But yeah, I do stream a lot when I'm offline, out of the building, in a certain surrounding. It just helps my mood. If you could magically, I love the word magically, if you could magically have the ability to play any instrument well, what would it be? and I'm going to say this once and once only, the guitar. I did learn the guitar when I was in primary school, in like reception. It was like this chunk ass pink candy floss guitar. I think it was classical because I could not play it at all. The frets and like the strings were so like long for a little kid's fingers. It was like, no. How I got through those lessons, I did not know. But as soon as those lessons ended and I moved to a school in year 3, I stopped. And it was only until recent years that I was kindly gifted from an old friend a nice guitar so that I can relearn it. And I know it's going to take a hell of a long time because I can play piano, a little bit of drums, and I can sing. So to be able to play the guitar, I'm a lot more versatile in my art. So I would love, love, love to be able to play that very well. Do you enjoy seeing musicians busking in the streets, and would I do it myself? Absolutely. If I can find the chance to find a place where I can show my craft, I would. When I'm feeling ready, I don't want to feel sort of too out of my comfort zone to sort of project myself too far out of that zone. But really, when you feel like you're ready, or when I'm ready to go and do busking, I would. When I get my set list down, I will be going all over the place, all over Cheltenham, Gloucester, anywhere that's local, maybe in my hometown, if I'm back there. But I really support people doing busking. One of my course mates for the assessment that we're currently doing, she went out there with a friend and did some busking, and they found it really successful. They even made some money from it, and they celebrated by going to Wetherspoons, which is a brilliant gift to do. It's a brilliant way to end your busking session, is going to a good old Wetherspoons to celebrate your craft. And so, yeah, I really, really recommend it. I could not recommend it more. Do you enjoy seeing... goodbye. No, I'm not reading that question again. Have I been to many concerts? Talk about the most memorable one. I've been to a ton, mostly K-pop, as I say again. But I think the most memorable one is gonna be my first one, which was 21 Pilots. I went with a friend. I was around about 15 years old, 14, 15. And we went together. And the moment when Tyler was on a burning car and it was rising up on a platform, and I repeat, a burning car. It was on fire, gasoline, shit was on fire. So I watched this and I was like, this is so cool. I want to do this for a living, hence why I am here. Because of that one 21 Pilots concert. It was absolutely brilliant. We all had a brilliant time. And it was one of the greatest decisions of me going there in my life. How often do I listen to music? Oh, too much. Far too much. If it's not Spotify, then it's YouTube. If it's not YouTube, it's Spotify. If it's none, it's CDs. It takes up so much of my life. Of course, my degree in music is possibly the reason why I listen to so much different sort of music. But I listen to it pretty much 24/7, all day, every day. And it sounds like an unhealthy obsession, but because of my degree, it is needed. Where do I see my musical career in 10 years? 10 years, I'd be 30. Wow. I really hope that this type of podcast would continue up until then and celebrate, 10 years being on this journey with me. That'll be absolutely amazing. But 10 years, I hope to connect with a lot of artists in the industry, find my place in the industry, maybe do some more studies, master's degree perhaps. But I really would like to focus on this type of thing in life, whether that be this YouTube account or even going and signing up with a label if I get a chance to do that with an agency, that would be really fun. Even if not, I would be making music a lot of my life and uploading it onto streaming platforms for people like you to listen to. What is my proudest accomplishment as a musician? I think just getting to where I am now, getting into this university, having all of this space to work with, it is a pleasure. And I feel incredibly proud getting into this place because I didn't study music for GCSE or A-level. I just went to a college where they didn't really teach you much. It was very run down. The building, I swear to God, and I cry, it's falling apart. It is, there's like tiles falling down the blooming ceilings, and it is falling apart. It's got issues. The building just has issues. But I'm so glad that I could leave that place knowing that I can learn more here and get the experience that I have now. I think that's the proudest thing for me, is just making it to where I am now. Have I ever experienced performance anxiety? Personally, no, but I know maybe one or two people that do. And most of the time, if I was to perform, I have like the adrenaline. Like sometimes my hand will be shaking, like I'm visibly kind of shaking, but that's the adrenaline, it's the excitement. I turn the nerves of me, messing up any lines if I'm doing, a play for a drama, or if I'm filming like this and I'm doing something relatively improv, what am I going to say next? The nerves, I turn to excitement rather than lingering on the anxiety of, oh God, I'm going to, fuck up massively. What am I going to do? I do have anxiety just throughout, life itself, but not when it comes to, not when it comes to performing, because I've just been performing literally since I was 3 years old. Literally 2009, I did my first proper dance recital in a big major theatre with a company, and I was 6. I had no idea what was going on, but it was fun nonetheless. Okay, what are your biggest influences? It's the last question. No, I don't want to end this too soon. But what are my biggest influences? I would say artists from all over the world, no matter where they are, country-wise, or how popular they are. I don't normally listen to popular artists like Ariana Grande. I normally listen just to songs that sound good. It doesn't matter about the artist or anything like that. If the songs are good and they feel good to me, that's what matters. But really, if I do get attached to the artist, I will subscribe to their YouTube. I am that type of person. But anyway, thank you for everyone that has submitted all these questions for me. I am so utterly grateful, and I want to thank everyone that has set up all of this, the people that are behind the camera that have helped make this a possibility, and for me to reach out to you guys and everyone that is on the set here with me now, behind the scenes. I want to thank them so much for the tremendous job. And I kind of want to thank myself for even sort of starting this podcast. This is episode 1. I will hopefully be doing these more in the future. When? Well, that's a secret. You need to find out more about that, because I could come at any point in time. Just out of the blue, there could be an episode 2. Who knows? But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye.